whatever it is that I'm talking about?
The second thing, for sure. Like, there's no, but that's from a stand-up perspective. I mean, and that's me personally. Like, there's no way, and I recognize also that that's part of my, crutch, I think, as a stand-up comedian, because if I'm going to continue, if that's going to continue to be a big, like, staple in terms of my career, I have to continue to write, and that's harder to do. You know,
That really is.
It's a lot harder to stay fresh and stay relevant. On the flip side of that, though, if I had the capacity to make an honest, solid living that I was okay with, just acting and doing improv, you know, sure, it's, you know, it's not, obviously I wouldn't be in the same TV show for 20 years, or maybe I am, but I mean, if switching up, you know,
that would be cool. I would love to be like a Frasier or
exactly, you know, I mean, something like that I would be okay with, you know, and even if it means I don't have a huge national spotlight, that's fine. You know, I do like the change, you know,
right, because with acting you could be in, you know, Romeo and Juliet for one run, and then the next thing you're doing is a commercial, and then after that you're doing, maybe you did get a spot on a TV show, and you're, you know, Johnny the wacky neighbor or whoever. But it's always, and even in improv, it's never the same show twice.
Right.
So it's a constant different thing. Like, even, you know, Kelsey Grammer was Frasier for 20 years, but every episode was slightly different than the last.
Exactly. And then he became the Beast. So everything
worked
Look at
out.
that evolution.
Yeah. I was just talking with Oleg about that.
Oleg Shevchuk, local favorite.
Kelsey Grammer being the Beast. He's like, who's your favorite X-Men? I was like, probably the Beast.
You said, really?
Yeah, but probably like the Kelsey
the Kelsey Grammer version.
Kelsey Grammer, yeah.
Interesting. I feel like that's a big compliment to Kelsey Grammer. I hope he's listening right now and he writes in.
Well, I
and
mean,
says,
it's the only other
you.
thing of note he's done besides Sideshow Bob. And, you know what I mean? Like, he was Frasier, Sideshow Bob, and the Beast. Anything else? Like, what can you even?
That's true.
What can you even pick?
You know what really blows my mind right now?
This
conversation has flowed so well.
Yeah,
but we're coming up on time.
Oh, okay.
Man.
All right. Well,
does everybody feel like they got some good personal growth nuggets, or like?
I mean,
because now I'm self-conscious. Oh man,
I loved.
I need to say some insightful shit, or otherwise.
I mean, you did. To me, the thing that stuck out to me the most is like you said something like giving ourselves permission to be proud. And that's like pretty heavy for anyone, I think. And it reminds me, I'm going to throw this little bit in there. It reminds me of, I heard the definition of humility from a Catholic priest. And it basically was this: the exact knowing of who you are and that you are nothing less and nothing more than that. Like, I think being humble is important, but I also think like the reversed, like I'm trying to make myself sound really humble, or I'm trying to make myself sound less than or more than, is a problem. You know, and I'm not saying that either of you were doing that, but like to acknowledge that sometimes we don't own our stuff as much as we absolutely are entitled to.
Right.
There's so much power in acknowledging your true self and having an accurate, like, self-image of who you are and what you are in that moment, and being content with that.
Yeah.
And that being okay.
Yeah.
You know, not feeling like you have to do more or that you're not doing enough. You know, that's probably the same.
See, and I feel like that all the time. I do. I always feel like I'm not doing enough, or there's something else that I need to be doing, and I'm not doing it. And so that, yeah. So I you know, it's hard. It's hard for me to be able to say, all right, well, I'm cool with, you know, where I am and what I'm doing, because I eventually want, like you, to be able to, you know, not have to work a day job. You know, I would love to just survive on, you know.
Well, I will say, I mean, big props and thank you to my wife.
Oh yeah,
I mean, like my life. Don't get me wrong. I am doing well, and I'm thankful for that. But I recognize also that if I was on my own doing what I am right now, my lifestyle would be drastically different.
Oh, absolutely.
I would still make it work, but I would not be living the same lifestyle. that
Oh
I
no,
you'd be
yeah, absolutely.
living like on the level of Buddhist poverty.
Yeah, I'd be the
might have been too
most hilarious Buddhist ever. I don't know. There's probably
All right,
some really,
take it easy.
There's probably some really funny
Don't
Buddhists.
give
out
yourself
there,
too
you
much
guys.
credit.
I
I'd be
know,
the
right?
most hilarious Buddhist ever. Whatever. All right, well, I guess
Tell us what you got going on here in the next little while.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I have quite a few improv shows coming up. We're doing a show on Black Friday called Thanksgiving Leftovers.
Nice.
So we're doing that at the
puns.
lounge at the end of the universe. Cool little venue. Jen Adams runs it, and she's super cool.
That's the at the end of the universe, you say?
A lounge at the end of the universe.
right,
Yeah,
that's
it's inside the Gem Center for the Arts. So we're doing that on Black Friday, December 7th. I am doing the final show of Bad Decisions. Another improv. It's a long form improv show. Happened at Mad Swede Brewing, which is a cool little local brewery. And then the following weekend, I'll be up in the Tri-Cities area, featuring at Joker's. So
Nice.
My sister lives up there. I'll have to tell her about it.
oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
Where can where can they find you on social media?
Social media. So I love Instagram. Instagram's my favorite.
Me too.
You can just my @ is @ Austin Vaughn, but instead of an A, it's a 4. So it looks like an A though. You see what I did there, guys?
Yeah.
AUSTINVON, but it's a 4.
Yeah.
And then also my website's austinvaughn.com.
Okay.
I like the way
Yeah.
that sounds. AustinVaughn.com.
Yeah.
Little
Okay.
little rhymey.
Yeah.
Well, by the time this episode airs, I will have already done the Megan Bryan and Friends improv show, which is tomorrow night.
Heck yeah.
When at the time of this recording, it's tomorrow night. And as always, you can find me on Instagram at Eric Cole Comedy and Twitter at It's Eric Cole. Both all one word.
Sweet. Don't forget to follow the Personal Growth Podcast Instagram page.
That's right.
We are recording in Tribe Point Studios, and you can find that at Tribe Point. It's at Tribe Point, and then follow me on my.
But isn't it multiple I's? Right.
Oh yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
You're correct. Tribe Point. Tri is spelled TRIII.
Makes sense
point.
because of the 3. Try. I get it.
Yeah.
I see what they did there. Very clever producer. Very clever.
Yeah.
Well done, producer.
And follow me on Instagram as well. It's Dopeless Perza. And I think
well,
we're
thank
done
you
here.
to Austin Von Johnson for being here tonight. It was great having you, and hopefully we can get to part 2 of this series with Mrs. Von Johnson.
Heck yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me. This has been a lot of fun. Appreciate
We'll
it.
see you next week.
See ya.
Be sure to check out these other podcasts brought to you from the Tri-Point Studios Network. The Outer Fringe on Mondays. On Wednesdays, get a double dose of Tri-Point podcasts with Unfold, formerly known as The Wandering, and Personal Growth with Perza and Cole. Also be on the lookout for Unroot. That'll be coming soon, only from Tri-Point Studios.